50,000 people stopped breathing at the exact same time. Not because of a match point, not because someone fired a 130 miles per hour serve, but because a 19-year-old girl from Manila leaned toward a German ball kid during a routine changeover and said something no one in that stadium expected. Welcome to our Sportiva Arena YouTube channel. She spoke German, not awkward, textbook German, not the kind you nervously piece together at a hotel front desk. Fluent, natural, warm, the kind of language that only lives inside you after years of real immersion. And in that moment, Berlin, one of the most historically rich tennis cities in Europe, lost its mind. Phones shot into the air. Strangers grabbed each other in disbelief. A woman in the front row covered her mouth, like she had just witnessed something she wasn't even sure she was allowed to see. And, up in the stands, in a section reserved for legends, Steffi Graf, the greatest German tennis player of all time, went completely still. That stillness? That's what this story is really about. Because when a legend goes silent in the presence of something extraordinary, it tells you more than any trophy ceremony ever could. My name is Alex Eala. Remember it. Because by the time you finish this story, you'll understand exactly why that name is going to echo through this sport for the next decade. The beginning to understand that moment in Berlin, you have to go back to the beginning. Manila, 2005. Alex Eala was born into a family that already understood elite athletics. Her father, Michael, had been a professional tennis player, and when he watched his daughter move on the court, he didn't just see talent, he saw something rare. The kind of talent you don't ignore because, if you do, it punishes you. So the family made a decision most people would never consider. They sent their young teenage daughter across the world to Spain. Not just anywhere, but to the Rafa Nadal Academy in Manacor, one of the most demanding junior training programs on the planet. This is a place where 12-hour training days are normal, where homesickness isn't managed, it's overcome, where only the strongest survive. Eala didn't just survive, she dominated. In 2022, she won the Junior Australian Open. Later that same year, she captured the Junior US Open. She became the first Filipino in history to win a Grand Slam title at any level, and she did it quietly. No massive sponsorships, no global hype machine, no mainstream spotlight. But, while the world was tracking her rankings and results, something deeper was happening. Becoming more than a player at the Rafa Nadal Academy, players don't just train physically, they adapt. The environment is multilingual. Cultures mix constantly. Languages shift mid-conversation. Eala absorbed all of it. She traveled across Europe, competing in different countries, spending time in places where German wasn't foreign. It was everyday life. No one forced her to learn it. She just listened. She paid attention. She connected with people on their terms, and that's what made her different. Most pro players experience the world like this hotel court airport repeat. Eala did something else. She let the world enter her. The moment in Berlin, fast forward to Berlin. Mid-match. Second set. The atmosphere was good, but normal. Then came a changeover. 90 seconds. That's it. Players usually sit, drink water, stare at their rackets, reset mentally. Nothing happens. That's the point. But this time, everything happened.
I mean, thanks. I think it went really great. I was definitely put in some tough positions by Magda, especially in that second, so I'm really happy with how I pulled through.
Obviously, in the fourth round back here in Miami, and you'll get to face...
A young German ball kid walked up to retrieve a towel. Routine. Invisible. Ella looked up, and instead of ignoring the moment, she spoke. In German. Fluent. Effortless. Human. The ball kid froze, then lit up with pure joy. People nearby heard it first. They turned to each other. The realization spread like a wave, and then the stadium exploded. Not a slow build. an instant eruption. 50,000 people reacting to something that had nothing to do with tennis. It was connection. Why it hit so hard, Eala's reaction made it even more powerful. She looked around, almost confused. Like, why is everyone reacting like this? Because to her, it wasn't special. It was natural. And that's what people felt. It wasn't performance. It wasn't strategy. It was real. Within minutes, the clip went viral. German fans felt pride and disbelief. Filipino fans felt something deeper: representation, belonging. One comment summed it up perfectly. She didn't have to do that. And that's exactly why it mattered. The most powerful human moments are the ones that aren't required. The Steffi Graf reaction. Now let's talk about that moment in the stands. Steffi Graf doesn't get stunned easily. 22 Grand Slam titles. 377 weeks as world number one. A career built on discipline, excellence, and focus. She has seen everything. But in that moment, she froze. Because she recognized something. Not just talent, character. She saw a young player who understood something most never do. Being great isn't just about what you achieve. It's about how you treat people when there's nothing to gain. What this really means, this wasn't about one match. It wasn't even about tennis. It was about what the sport is becoming. Eala represents something bigger. A player from a country without a deep tennis legacy. A global athlete shaped by multiple cultures. A person who connects, not performs. She didn't try to make a statement. She just acted like herself. And in doing that, she made 50,000 people feel something unexpected. The future arrived quietly. Steffi Graf didn't react because of a shot. She reacted because she saw the future. And the future didn't arrive with hype. No press conference, no announcement. Just 30 seconds. Between a teenager and a ball kid. Alex Eala didn't plan it. She didn't rehearse it. She didn't even realize what she had done. She just saw someone, and chose to connect. And that, more than any trophy, is why the world is going to remember her name.